This week on Xenomania, join us as we take our final trek into the world of the critters with Critters 4 as they return to their interstellar home to wreak havoc in space. But does it hold up to the first three? Surprisingly, probably not. But we will have fun with a game and a discussion. This is Critters 4, and we are Xenomania.
No. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
This is either the Billy Baldwin or the Stephen Baldwin of the Critters franchise.
We'll go with Billy.
I'm thinking about this a lot.
Billy.
Billy, because it's like middle-ish, because there are Critters movies after it, and because what was he in, Slither? Was that his claim to fame?
Slither. He made an appearance in The Sopranos.
Yeah, that was fine. That was just fine.
Was it Backdraft, right?
Backdraft was probably his biggest
Backdraft,
movie, right? So yes, I mean maybe, because there's some high notes in this, but they're not too high. Or Stephen Baldwin, because he's the youngest.
This is the Baldwin brother that didn't go into acting.
Yeah, that might be closer to the assessment. We're talking about Critters 4 tonight, everybody, and wow, this is going to be a sad episode.
I mean, it's going to be fun because it's rare that none of us really like one of these movies too much.
I mean,
it's true.
It's true. It's got like B-movie potential. Get your bath salts together with your friends and watch it.
Yeah. I think if you sit around with a group of your boys and do a few substances, you can have some fun with Critters 4. Mm-hmm. Alone on the couch at 4:00 in the afternoon, not so much.
Yeah, it's a toughie. Birds chirping outside, the sun coming in the window. You're like, why am I doing this?
It's so nice out. I should be outside, not sitting here watching Critters 4 with no critters.
Yeah. You know why you're doing it? You're watching it because you got Brad Dourif in it, you got Angela Bassett, and you got Charlie.
And her butt, yeah.
Well, to be determined.
Or somebody else's butt. I'm sure that exists somewhere, and I should have looked it up.
I'd rather the audience figure that out for us, to be honest with you. We got to cut it short of this one part. Tell us, is that a stunt double or a body double for Angela Bassett?
I don't believe it is. I mean, you said there's a cut, but if you watch it, it seems very seamless.
Ryan has spent hours studying that posterior, and he knows.
I had to make sure.
Ryan has analyzed that shower scene like people's analyzed the Zapruder film.
Like watching the Kennedy assassination. Back and to the left, Angela. Back and to the left.
Zoom in. See that little butt pimple right there? That's Angela Bassett's pimple.
We had an exact scene in the living room. But anyway,
wow.
What? Well,
Brian's like
JFK reference.
Face pressed up to the screen. Like, is it really her?
John, I've never seen you do that before. Wow.
Is it?
Listen, I spent 5 minutes cleaning that screen. Okay.
Oh Lord, that belies a story we don't want to tell.
Yeah.
It was smudges. All right. Get your minds out of the gutter. But you know what?
Smudges from what?
My nose, sir, and my eyeball. But even with their acting power, it doesn't hold up as 1, 2, or even 3. 3 was even better than this.
Absolutely. They took the fun out of the franchise in 4. There's hardly any of those fun moments. This is more like a serious horror movie that misses in that regard too.
You know what gets me about this one is they could have had so much fun with the space aspect, because Critter starts in space.
Yeah.
Yep.
It belongs. So I don't understand how they fumbled the bag so hard on this one. But they fumbled the bag.
And they've really, so much of this movie is just lifted from other sci-fi movies. Like
Yes.
that might be a fun thing to sit and do one night for some people, is just sit there and identify which sci-fi movies they're ripping off in this scene. Because there's 100% Star Trek, 100% Alien franchise,
Oh,
Star
yeah.
Wars.
Yeah.
I mean,
100%.
that scene in the trash compactor is a 100% Star Wars ripoff scene.
When
That's
you
true.
mentioned what scene I know what is ripped off, I saw and I was like, oh my God. Like with the water, like I was waiting for something to pop
Yeah,
out and
yeah,
Oh, the
and
poster is a ripoff of Alien.
oh,
mhm.
100%.
the
What is it like crashing out of?
the ship
A
going
moon?
out of the going off to salvage a ship, as a stranded spaceship and all that. And like, it's like, I've seen all of this before. Even like the ship robot is sort of like HAL from 2001 if it was like not really smart.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the funniest part, is that the ship computer and robotic voice are just idiots.
It's like the Windows Vista of the HAL series. Just the
Yeah.
worst one. I know the
And-
voice of the robot is somebody famous. I forgot. I looked into it because I
Yes,
thought
it
was
is
interesting.
Martine Beswick.
She's the Bond girl, right?
Yeah, she was in
Martine
3
Beswick.
Bond movies. I don't know if she was ever like a full-on Bond girl, but she was in 3 Bond movies. She was in a lot of stuff.
Wow.
Oh,
She's one of
she's
them working
probably-
actors.
Hold on, now I'm looking it up.
She was
'Cause
in
I've seen
Doctor
her.
No. I want to say maybe was she? I think she was in the one that went, the James Bond that went to space, Thunderball. Was Thunderball the
yeah.
one that went to
It's
space?
appropriate for this
No.
episode.
That's Moonraker. Thunderball is the
Moonraker.
4th one, and that's the one with Emilio Largo. And she was in From Russia with Love,
Uh-huh.
which she's probably in. Oh, she's in the gypsy scene when they have the gypsy scene fight.
Gypsy
Yeah.
scene fights.
Yeah, From Russia with Love is a amazing spy thriller just on itself,
Mhm.
minus it being a Bond film.
I mean, I'm gonna say some potentially controversial Bond things right now. Connery, Roger Moore, great. Everything after them until Daniel Craig, not good.
I agree.
Not
The
good.
Pierce Brosnan
I,
ones
li-
were
I
horrible.
like Pierce Brosnan, but those weren't Bond movies. And like,
Nah.
I remember that time period from the end of Roger Moore to the end of Pierce Brosnan, people saying, oh, I think Bond is dead. Too many other action movies, too many this, too many that. No, it's who you cast as Bond.
Yeah, they almost did Cavill. I
That
think
would've
he
been
ended
awesome.
up walking on Bond. But
Yes, he did.
yeah, they
I
almost
The
don't know.
Witcher.
I think Daniel Craig was as good as you were going to do. Like, he's got
Yeah, he was pretty good.
enough different.
Craig was
and,
good.
and like, I know there were people, oh, he's a blonde. Bond isn't a blonde. Like, we're doing that. Like now, who's going to be the next Bond? And people say Idris Elba. No, Bond isn't black. Like, James Bond is whatever
no,
you
Roland
want
of
James
Gilead
Bond
is
to
in
be.
black. Bond can be whatever you want, right? But yeah,
Yep.
casting Idris Elba, to go back to our 4th episode, as Roland in the Dark Tower series was a terrible idea.
Yeah,
I'm with that too.
Idris Elba is Bond.
Well,
Elba
is
and
Bond.
remember,
Probably
and
amazing.
just for people who didn't listen, there's a huge thing with a racist character. Well, she's not even racist; she's like possessed, but still, racism is involved. That has to do with him being white. So you can't do it. You can't. It destroys the canon of the story. Anyway, moving on.
Oh,
You
well,
try-
real quick, get back to Bond real quick. Dalton is good. If you rewatch License to Kill and Living Daylights, it's a serious Bond, and if you read the books, he takes it more from what Ian Fleming had. Sean Connery mixes a little, but Timothy Dalton is like the true novelization.
Just
Just
be
putting
one of
it
those
out there.
episodes where we talk about everything but Critters.
But I
Which-
love Sean Connery. Sean Connery's my number one Bond.
yeah, he is.
Just saying.
Yeah, I think I actually go Connery, Craig, Moore, and then whoever you want to put next. Like,
I'm glad you put
The
Craig
ones
ahead of Moore. I do too.
Yeah.
Moore sucks.
I-
Well.
I like Roger Moore.
Well,
I think Roger
he's
Moore
funny.
is really
kidding.
awesome, but he
For obvious
feels
reasons.
he feels less like a James Bond type than Connery and Craig.
Yeah,
Well,
he's like an IBM executive type.
Yeah.
Well, you got The Man with the Golden Gun, which is more
I did
comedy,
like that
right?
movie, though.
But it's a good film because you get the alley oop, but do you need the whistle in the alley oop? And then you got Moonraker, which is in space. But you have like serious ones like Live and Let Die, Spy Who
Mhm.
Loved Me, For Your Eyes Only.
Yeah.
I'm a big Bond fan. Even like A View to a Kill. Like it's creepy because he's like 60 years old with Tanya Roberts, who's like 20. But
Eh,
Christopher
I
Walken
have
as
to
Max
suspend my
Zorin,
disbelief on that.
Living the dream.
it's hard when you see the wrinkly skin. If you see
Living the
the wrinkle,
dream.
no, that was a nightmare for her.
Was it?
I didn't say it was
Oh,
a
whoa.
dream for her.
Well, more of a nightmare for the cast because she was very particular, and there's behind the scenes of him being snarky with her, which is
Oh,
great.
okay, he was mean. Got
No,
it.
not that. No, she deserved it. She was like, each scene, she's like, "How's my hair?" And he's like, "You're in an action movie. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
like there's debris everywhere."
I mean,
Yeah, I
listen,
gotcha.
ultimately my favorite Roger Moore role is playing a version of himself in Cannonball Run.
Yeah. it's
What's your
pretty
name?
cool.
Moore. Roger Moore.
All right, so Critters 4, everybody. So Charlie is stuck in a pod of some sort. They weren't allowed to kill the
Mhm.
last critters at the end of Critters 3. And this spaceship filled with not Ripley, but Ripley gets a call from Ugg saying they have to pick up this floating pod, and they do. And that's great. And that's kind of what kicks us off here. We find out it was Charlie in the pod because the dumb captain opens it up, and that's like the entire plot of the movie.
Mhm.
I don't remember
got-
any plot past that, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
there's
Ugg got corporate.
yeah, Ugg is now counselor Tetra.
Counselor Ugg.
Which is dumb. The worst
And
thing they did with this movie was
Yep.
that.
Was turn Ugg into the complete antagonist. Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
bad move. Bad move.
It was.
The most likable character in the franchise, arguably. Maybe Charlie's more likable, but I don't see it that way. I like Ugg better.
Charlie's like the Reggie of this franchise,
Yeah.
in my opinion. And then like Ugg is like, I
Yeah.
wouldn't say like a Mike. He's like, I'm trying to
No,
remember the brother's
Charlie's
name.
Michael. Yeah, Charlie's very Michael.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I would think Charlie's
he's-
more Reggie.
Yeah, I guess you could. I mean, if you're
No.
gonna, I thought you were gonna make Ugg as Reggie, but Charlie can definitely be a Reggie.
I feel like the kid would be like a Michael, and then Michael's brother would be more of an Ugg.
I mean,
I
there's
can't
no
believe we don't
there.
cast on that, by the way.
I mean, they
It's
filmed it at
crazy,
the
right?
same
You said-
time.
I was
He could have just bounced between
Yeah.
sets. I watched some of the making of 4 because I wanted to try to figure out what was in these people's minds. And they'd shoot a scene for 3 and then tear down the set and put up the 4 set. And like basically every other day they were filming 3, then 4, then 3, then 4. Which is probably why they
wild
both
work.
kind of suffer
cool.
because there's not consistency. It's different directors, and I mean, you get a one-time director for Critters 4, Rupert Harvey.
That's
This is
wild,
the only thing
by the
he
way.
ever directed.
destroyed
the
his
only
career.
movie he ever directs is
the only
is
one who
the
came out of this
fourth
is Angela
Critters.
Bassett.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, because Brad Dourif
did
already
alright.
Yeah, you
He's-
can't hurt
yeah.
him.
He held
It's
up.
bulletproof.
Yeah,
he already did Child's Play.
Yeah,
But,
Child's
like-
Play's like before this, right?
I
yeah.
think so.
Child's Play was around.
88?
Yeah, yeah. I think you had 2 or 3 Child's Play by this point. It probably
Yeah.
at least 2.
2. I think 2.
So
Yeah,
y-
2.
yeah. But I mean, it's also Child's Play is him, but you don't see him.
In the
Ah.
beginning of the first film, though.
Yeah, but
In the beginning.
you don't associate like his face with Child's Play.
True. And he like his approach in this film is also like he gives off like a different voice where it's not like the Chucky voice. It's
Yeah.
more I don't want to say it's like his normal voice cuz I feel like the Chucky is like him being normal. This is more like toned down.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Albert That's his name.
Yeah,
Freaking weird
it's
name.
not Albert. It's Albert.
Bert.
There is a space between, which is like the craziest thing in the world. Like that's what you have for a name, huh? Albert.
Bert.
And then Angela Bassett's friend.
Yep.
Like
Neat.
you get a Bernie.
And
Rick
yeah,
Buttram.
and you get Captain Rick, who's kind of a jerk, who becomes more and more of a jerk during his time in this
Doesn't
movie.
he try to like throw a little essay on Angela in the shower in Brian's famous scene?
Yeah.
I mean, he's
He tried.
definitely creeping on her the whole time, and then I think it gets interrupted before it gets to the full essay, so you're not quite sure if he's gonna take the no, but
And she makes him take that no.
Oh yeah, she does.
Give him that right.
He deserved it.
Just give him that.
I mean,
Bass.
it's really also his fault that the critters get out anyway, because they're safe. They're gonna destroy Charlie. They're going to destroy Charlie, but that's it. They're trapped in that pod. Counselor Tetra and his stormtroopers. Also a very Star Wars moment, him walking in looking like a cross between the Emperor and Darth Vader with his stormtroopers.
Yeah.
They even make a reference to that. Brad Dourif's character, Albert, says, well, you and your stormtroopers. And I'm like, all right, so we're just going to make it obvious.
Dude.
We're not even going to pretend.
I'm shocked George Lucas didn't sue him because he's like
everybody, didn't he?
Yeah, he's like happy with that. He almost sued Spaceballs, right?
Yeah, I mean,
isn't there a story about that?
He's a litigious little dude. I don't even know if I should call him little. I don't know.
Yeah.
Allegedly
He's
little
little.
dude.
He's short. I've read his biography.
I don't know. Is he short?
short
I have
kings can be all right.
no sense of whether George Lucas is tall or not.
No, I know he's got a beard and he's rotund. That's about it.
Allegedly rotund.
Why don't we hit the brakes here? And I've been dying to see what John's got for us for a game this week.
It's a new game too.
It's brand new. It's a one-time shot for this version of the game. I may try to come up with another form for it or another version of it or something. I think it's the easy. I think it's the easiest one I've ever come up with for you guys. I think you guys are going to have some fun with it, but it's not going to be too difficult. It is. I'll give you the name before I even bring it up. This game is called Space or No Space. So basically, I'm gonna show you part one in a bunch of horror franchises, and you're gonna tell me if that franchise went to space or not.
Okay.
I
know a few of these already, so it should be.
Now, I'm gonna throw one thing in there. In the spirit of Critters 4, where they are aliens to begin with, some of these are aliens. Their first appearances took place on Earth. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So let's bring this.
So, like the movie Alien should not be on this list.
No, because Alien never had Earth.
Never, ever.
All right.
Alien versus Predator.
We're gonna start super easy. I don't count that as part of the Alien franchise. Oops. Hold on. There we go.
Oh, fair.
First one.
Okay.
Sorry,
which one is the first one?
Walking on my computer.
Have a seizure. Oh, okay.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Did Nightmare on Elm Street end up in space?
No space.
I know that definitively. No, there's no nightmares in the vacuum of space.
Maybe in your dreams.
I have to give Allison a little credit here because no space. She made a graphic
very nice,
for me.
Allison. She made a
that's
graphic
beautiful.
for you.
She made a graphic
Fantastic.
because I cannot do that myself. All right.
That's cool.
Next franchise. Did the Hellraiser franchise make it to space?
Yes.
It did, yes. In Bloodline.
It sure did.
Yeah, you can see the
There
planet.
we go.
Bloodline.
Very nice. Well, I'm feeling good about this so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a couple that are a little tricky, but they're mostly pretty straightforward. Next, did Halloween make it to space?
No space.
Reluctantly, no space. It did make it to
Imagine.
every rapper who went platinum in the 90s, though.
Yes,
Busta Rhymes, LL Cool
except
J.
Ludacris.
He would have been great in this franchise.
No space for
No
Halloween.
space. No
I'm
space.
liking this game.
It's going fast.
Dracula 2000. And yes, this is a franchise. This does have a sequel. But does that sequel wind up in space?
Omar Epps is in this.
But this is the first one of the trilogy. I'm trying to remember.
Yes.
I'm gonna
Space.
Does
say
this
yes.
go to space?
I'm gonna say yes.
Space.
Because
This
it feels like that's why wouldn't they?
yes, they go
Dumb
to space.
franchise.
It's okay.
This
It's
one
not-
absolutely goes to space.
Yes.
Yep.
Dracula
With,
3000.
with a tagline, in space, there is no daylight.
But there is like tons of it in
That's-
space. It's unfiltered
yeah.
all over in
Yeah.
space.
Yeah. Okay. Next. Cloverfield.
Oh, yes. I remember being very excited for when this went to space and then watching that movie and being very upset at J.J. Abrams again.
Right.
I'll say yes. Space.
Paradox.
Of course it goes to space because why wouldn't it? And Kearns,
Bastards.
you tell me about this all the time that like a lot of these Cloverfield movies weren't or even originally Cloverfield movies.
Yep, that's very true. I believe this one also was not a Cloverfield movie. This was more meant to be more like a like the movie Triangle, with all the different time splits that occur and stuff. And then they throw up a cut of the Clover monster in the last 7 minutes of the movie that's as tall as like the atmosphere, and that's what we get. And I was just furious.
Yep.
I don't blame
I
you.
bought this for $19.99 streaming too. I was so excited.
Ooh.
Oh,
so-
this one wasn't it free on Netflix?
I don't know.
I feel
Oh
like
no, you're
they-
right. You are right. It was another one I bought for $19.99 streaming.
Okay.
Not this
Thank
one. You're
God.
absolutely right. Because this and like Godzilla Earth and stuff like that were all ones I was so excited for, and and they were Netflix, and I was like, God damn it! No wonder it's free.
Yep. Yep. All right.
But yeah.
Next franchise. Does Friday the 13th go to space?
Jason,
Jason X.
we timed that perfectly.
Yes.
It's a good one. It's
Friday
like a
the
guilty
13th.
pleasure.
Does go to space and changes the mask for no real reason.
None reason.
They were
None
trying to
reason.
make it with the times. It was cool.
It was
Uber
not.
Jason.
It was
Uber
not.
Jason.
Uber Jason.
Just make it more German.
Uber Jason is what it turned out to be. Next. Did 28 Days Later make it to space?
Oh, it's got to be a
Imagine.
trick, right?
Imagine Jimmy Christ in space.
I gotta say no, but I'm wondering if we're missing something. Is there like a
No.
Sputnik issue going on here?
There's a- On
No,
the
it
moon.
never went to space.
There's no space. I really just put 28 Days Later in here so I could use the no space graphic more.
No,
I didn't think you guys would be fooled by that one. But will you be fooled by this one? No.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I like how they have to go straight on for the nose.
And airbrush the hell out of it.
Yeah, they went nuts with her on this one.
It's
Yes, space.
Yes. Number 4.
Yeah.
Leprechaun 4.
This was definitely like a post Friends blowing up cover for this to emphasize the Jennifer Aniston part.
Oh,
Because this
100%.
is not the
Oh, yeah.
original cover.
And she still gets second billing to Warwick Davis on the cover. Hell yeah, bro.
Her
Yep.
nose is
Willow
smaller
for
too.
life.
Oh yeah,
It
they
is
fixed
smaller.
up her nose for this. Yeah.
That's a
Definitely.
travesty. I want a 4K edition, but with the original poster. That's what I
Well,
want.
Fair enough.
The
fair
nose
enough.
sticking out.
So yes,
Just-
Leprechaun 4 in space.
In space.
One
This is the
small
one.
step for man, one giant leap of terror.
This is the one he busts out of the guy, right? He busts out through his stomach.
So I just had another idea. This just gave me an idea.
Sometimes I
Does
push
the-
real hard until those pass.
Does the franchise go to the hood? Can be another one.
Ooh,
Oh,
I
would
like
be
that one.
amazing. Alligator
There's a
goes to
few
the
of
hood.
those too. Yeah.
Yes, it does.
That's my favorite part of the movie when it goes to the hood.
What do we have next? Go-
I'm just thinking of the scene too. I'm
Does,
just thinking about it.
Mhm.
does Child's Play?
Are you including the
to the
TV series though?
I'm not including the TV series.
I hate this
Right.
cover, by the way.
I like this cover so
And
much.
The lightning.
It's pretty cool.
It's a full-blown cartoon, which is nice, a little refreshing, but I don't know why I hate. Maybe it's because this thing terrified me as a child. Maybe that's why.
I
I
mean,
don't like it.
nothing really beats the original poster with the apartment building with the lightning in the background with his eye staring down, but no space.
No space,
Yeah, no
unless you
space.
consider that to be where the magic comes from.
No space.
Um,
I love the purple. The purple sticks out.
right.
No child's.
She did a really nice job with this.
She did. We
Next.
should definitely pay her one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Does-
hell yeah. Well, it depends.
Does
What are we talking
Godzilla
about
go
here?
to
Yeah.
space?
Are you talking about original
This
run?
is Ishiro Honda, so this is
Yes.
Toho
Any
era.
run. Any
So-
run.
Yes, it
They
goes-
did, yes.
Absolutely. I have the VHS somewhere, or had.
They absolutely did right there. Invasion of the Astro Monster was the first time
Yep.
he goes to space. I think he goes to space a few more times after that.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
lure him at one point, and he ends up fighting Space Godzilla.
I was gonna say you got
Mhm.
Ghidorah in there.
Who's
Is
coming to the Legendary verse, by the way. Space Godzilla will be in the next Legendary Godzilla and Kong movie. I don't know how I feel about that, but
I gotta catch up. I haven't watched
you
the
don't,
recent
though.
Kong and got no. What about the
No,
TV show?
you
and
know
I
what?
mean,
Apple?
you can. It's
I like-
kind of like
I
letting
like
a
the
hooker
TV
kick you in the
show.
junk a bunch. You know, there's something to it.
I like they're guilty pleasures for me. Like I know they're not as good as any of the original Godzillas or any of the original King Kong or any of that, but I like them. And the series is okay, but I mean, if you're gonna have a Godzilla series, it needs a lot more Godzilla than this series does.
Yeah, Monarch doesn't really
It's
deliver on
it's
that.
got a lot of the Russell family,
I was
not
gonna
a
say
lot of
that
Godzilla.
they're really hoping that the overabundance of Russell will make up for the lack of Godzilla,
Mhm.
but I don't know
It
what their
does.
VFX budget is, but it's definitely not as big as their Russell budget.
No, they're definitely paying more to the Russells than they are to Godzillas. All right, I believe this is the last one. Yes. Does the Amityville Horror get to space?
Dude,
No,
what a twist.
that'd be cool, but no.
I feel like you're wrong, Ryan, because John is John. How did the Amityville Horror get to space? Hold on, I have to figure this out. Does it have anything to do with the Long Island guy who killed all those prostitutes?
And he was-
It does
probably
not have
It's-
anything to do with the Gilgo Beach Killer.
No, are you sure? Because that's usually how haunted houses get to space. It's Gilgo
I mean, I'm
Beach.
pretty sure.
Okay.
I think he was
Um,
trying to
I've been to
close
this
that
house, by the way.
portal.
Well, I drove by this house, I should say, with my aunt and uncle when I was little. They're like, you know that scary haunted house? No. Well, here it is. Get out of the car.
I wanna
it looked
live
just
there.
like this too. I thought they tore it down since, but I'm not
I
sure.
think they did. I think it might
Did
be
they?
torn down.
I thought it
I
was.
think it's gone now.
Thought you could visit it like an attraction.
Oh, I
Uh,
thought that they ripped it to shreds. We got to find out for the fans. I have to go with no because I can't think of any viable way this movie makes it to space.
Well, you guys have underestimated how many movies there are with Amityville.
Oh no.
Amityville
Amityville?
in space.
There's no way. For
No.
God's sake,
Yeah,
get out.
Oh
Guys,
Oh,
God.
look,
guys,
there's the house. A house.
Vinegar Syndrome released a movie called Amityville Vibrator.
Oh, sweet.
This franchise has been run so far. I think there may be 30 Amityville movies.
This is
Amityville in
wild.
space.
That
I
is
mean,
wild.
how do you do that?
He ruined our
I
perfect
haven't
run, Ryan.
I haven't seen
I-
that one, but yeah.
Did the house
I'm-
land on the moon?
I'm actually thinking when we get the Patreon up and running, one of the things I'm going to do is watch and review every Amityville movie.
I mean,
Okay.
we
Every single
we
one.
hold on. We should at
Every
least do
single
the
one.
original. We should do the original.
Yeah, we'll jump. We can jump off with the original on the main show, and then every Amityville movie,
Good luck
which
with
will
the
probably
remake.
take me the rest of my life. Dude, the remake's not gonna. You just saw it, the cover for Amityville in space.
I think
Yeah,
that's
The
that's
remake,
better.
the remake
the
is gonna
remake.
be nothing. The remake is gonna be nothing. I think the remake's probably better than some of the original sequels.
Probably.
Ooh, that. Yeah, I mean, modern technology was it 2005? Yeah, 2005.
Amityville Horror should go on the next version of your sequels that didn't need to exist list, Ryan.
That it. I do actually agree with that because the first one is a classic.
Yeah, it
the
only
first one's
needed the
quite good.
first one. There's no more
You know what was
story
better?
beyond that.
There was like a
Critters
made-for-TV movie. Oh, yeah, no, not even close. There was a made-for-TV ghost movie where like the ghosts start out and it sounds like an argument with family members using bad words and stuff. And then like there's a ghost essay of the husband. Like some girl ghost walks down the stairs and has her way with the husband of the household. And it's like a 2-hour channel 12. I think it was maybe Discovery Channel. It was back when I didn't have more than 13 channels. So it was on one of those. And it was a terrifying movie. It was really good. It's based on a real haunting. And it's the first instance, too, where the ghosts follow the family to their next home. Like the family is haunted, not the house now. And that's how it ends.
Which they did for Insidious, which is a good concept. I'm curious in watching that.
It's good. I mean,
It's-
it's old, but it's fun.
I recognize the description. I can't pull a name out though.
All right, so let me
Yay.
look up this ghost movie.
Ghost Story? One of the best
No, it's not
adaptations of a
Ghost
book.
Story.
No, I know. I just wanted to plug
It's
Ghost
not
Story.
the Changeling. It's.
It's
I know. I think it's. I think I've seen this. Like
It says The Entity, but I don't. Oh, no, it's The Haunted.
The Haunted. Fitting title.
Yeah, it's The Haunted. I believe that's the name of the movie. Yep. Made for TV. We're getting there. Robert Curran, Jack Schmer. Yep, this is it. Because it's got my boy in it from all the Stephen King movies. He's the guy who gets assaulted by the ghost.
There isn't a stair scene, is there? Where someone gets dragged
Jeffrey
down the stairs.
DeMunn. The Haunted. Yeah, she comes down the
good old
stairs.
Jeffrey DeMunn.
Yeah.
But
he's-
does someone get dragged down the stairs, though, is the question, by a ghost.
I think when things are ramping up and the poltergeist activity really is crazy. Unlike in Critters 4, when things ramp up, never.
Never.
By the way.
Never.
No.
So, I mean, on top of like changing the lore of Ugg, Charlie's been in that pod for 53 years.
Yep.
You
And
don't.
he
You don't give Charlie a kid to bond with.
As
He's
you
just-
do with all recovering alcoholics from the neighborhood, yeah.
Yeah.
He's just alone.
Yeah,
in
he's just
space.
a lone Charlie who, like, and the crew of the ship thinks is a lunatic for a while. Which is, I mean,
Fair.
correct thought, but not when he's talking about critters. That's probably the one thing he's not a lunatic about.
Mhm.
No. No. I
The
mean, they
mental-
just. I was gonna say they just don't believe him, even when he takes his ID out. They still question him until like everything hits the fan, and it's still like there's still tension, but like you got characters like Fran believes him, kinda. Albert believes him, and then you got Bernie who's just trying to get pharmaceuticals. Like that's all he cares
Everybody's
about.
got that friend.
Yeah.
Am I right? Yeah, your parents' bathroom open? I'd like to go in there. What?
And if you don't have that friend, it's very likely that you are that friend for somebody.
Indeed. So, yeah, I mean, there's not much. We can't even go through the beats of this movie because it's about the pacing is like going to the dentist from waiting room back to the car. That's like what it feels like. It's like here's a point, and here's a signpost, and here's a signpost. Incredibly undramatic.
You don't get critters for more than a half an hour. Then when you do get critters, it's only 2 of them for like another half an hour.
You don't see
And
like
then
a full
there's-
critter.
Yeah, and you're about an hour in before you see a full critter. I mean, even Rick gets taken out by a baby critter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but critters have figured out how to like rapidly age themselves. So, there's the one scene where the one adult critter is trying to age them all into other adults, but that lasts like under 2 minutes. And then there's one critter again. And then there's Counselor Tetra Ugg being Darth Vader.
It just sucks. This movie just sucks. We can't really gloss over it, guys.
It was just disappointing because it's just disappointing, especially like Ugg.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Yeah, like you
There's not
build
even
up a
much to
character.
talk about. You know what I mean? Like-
Yeah, it's like the opposite Phantasm, right?
Yeah, too much
Yeah.
to talk about.
Phantasm 5 held on to what was good about the first 4. Critters 4 is whatever. It's almost like we have to fulfill this contract for a 4th Critters movie. Here's what we got.
Yeah, and then they kept going too. I mean, anyway, they
Well,
could have
I mean,
made this more fun for what the movie is, and they did not.
It was gone for a solid 20 years before they released that sci-fi one.
Yeah, what is it? Critters Attack.
Something
We're not
like
doing that
Critter-
one on that.
No.
No,
thank
we're
God.
done. We are done with Critters after tonight.
Yep.
We're not going to do a play-by-play of the TV or the web series.
Patreon.
No. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna explore the full Critters experience anymore. This is enough Critters, I think.
Well, we're getting a kind of a preview of what we think the movie should be rated, but maybe we should look into what other people have rated Critters for.
No.
No.
These are some rough ones.
I mean, as expected.
So, first off, we have no critics score on Rotten Tomatoes because there's only 3 critics reviews on there. None of them are
Wow.
particularly good.
Wow.
And we are down to an 18% audience score. So you can imagine how hard it was
Lowest I've ever
to
seen.
find some 5 stars. But I did find a 5-star.
Nah,
I
there's
thought I
always
was
that
gonna.
Really?
I thought I was gonna have to compromise and like use a 4 or even a 3, because there weren't a lot of 4s either. 5 stars. Great film. I love the critters. The end. That's his whole
Okay.
5-star review.
That guy literally like was on life support, just waited for that last review to get out. Didn't have much time.
Yep.
That's a fan.
I didn't even bother with any 1-star reviews.
Yeah, I
for
mean, that's a
Critters
franchise
4,
fan. That's one. I
because the
recommend this to
half-stars
people who
were
are fans of the
prevalent
Critters
and-
franchise.
Yeah, that the half stars were funnier and more prevalent. So 1/2 star. Even the added element of space wasn't enough to make this franchise any more entertaining. I'm glad the series ended here, and am genuinely surprised it even made it this far, TBH. It just never progressed and needed to stop being so immature. I fully disagree. I think it needed to sink into more immaturity. Probably my least favorite of the Critters series. I mean, that's like
Easily.
easily.
It makes Critters
Easily.
3 look like an absolute masterpiece.
Mhm.
Yes.
It's so disappointing. I
100%.
mean, it's more disappointing because you can see where they could have made it more fun. You could have had a bit of a Bubba Hotep vibe or a Jason X sort of vibe with some of the
Yeah,
campiness they have in that.
yeah. Like they seem to have decided we're gonna take Critters 4 more seriously than 1 through 3, and it doesn't work.
It's a
There's
bad mistake.
nothing. There's nothing about this movie that should have been serious.
Oh,
Yeah, agreed.
and they try to be funny, and it doesn't even work. Even when like the critters are like behind the controls doing things like Gremlin
Yeah,
style,
like I mean,
it's
they're
not
not.
fun.
No, there's nothing. I do have one last half-star review though.
Oh, good.
Half-star, and this guy starts off the way I love bad reviews to start off. If I could give it 0 stars, I would. This movie is soul-suckingly bad. And to make it even worse, it was boring. Might be my least favorite movie of all time.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, is it my least favorite movie of all time? No, I saw Sucker Punch in theaters. That was pretty tough.
Yeah.
That was pretty
I
tough.
saw
Yeah.
Norbit.
Oh,
No,
I think you win.
Yeah,
I
Norbit's
think
bad.
Flubber, but I didn't see it in theaters.
I like Flubber.
Aw,
I
you
do like
would.
Robin Williams.
You would.
I
I
enjoy
mean,
it.
he's the GOAT, but
Here's where I'll get accused of rage baiting.
What?
I don't like Robin Williams.
Why? Why?
He doesn't do anything for me. I like
Don't
his early stand up I liked because it's dirty. And then he just
Okay.
becomes
Oh, his stand-up stays pretty. I saw him at Mohegan Sun about 3 years before he died, and he
Oh,
was
okay.
pretty filthy there. He was saying some
That's
stuff.
awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
like as a stand up, I like him some. As an actor,
Mrs. Doubtfire?
You know,
I
Good
do
Morning
not like
Vietnam?
Mrs. Doubtfire.
I
at
mean,
all.
Good Morning
Good
Vietnam.
Morning
I was like, let's get
Vietnam,
into like good ones.
that Good Morning Vietnam, Dead Poets Society are about as good as I find him to be, but even those kind of miss me.
Oh my God, Dead
Like,
Poets
I-
Society is like one of my
It's a
favorite
great
movies.
film.
I just don't
Dead-
do that zany energy. Like it just
Dead-
doesn't work for me.
Okay,
That's a smoochie.
I love Death to
Death
Smoochie.
I
You-
wanted to punch him for Death to Smoochie.
Oh my God.
How did you feel about 1 Hour Photo then? That's
I mean, when he did
That
dramatic
too.
and horror,
you didn't like that
1
one.
Hour Photo was kind of tough for me as well. I thought it was going to be better. Yeah.
I enjoyed that one.
You know what
a
I
lot.
I liked that he did was the American version of Insomnia. I thought that was pretty
Yeah,
good.
That was
Insomnia.
good.
But I thought that was going to be based off of Stephen King's novel, and I watched the movie, and I was like, "What is this crap?" And Pacino's really good, but what is this crap?
You see the original?
No,
No.
never. Maybe we should put it on the pod.
It's not
Is it
horror.
horror?
It's no more horror than Silence of the Lambs.
Sleep deprivation horror. It's this. It's
I-
the horroriest horror of my life.
But it's so good. But I don't think we can even like remotely call it a horror movie.
Fair enough.
But it's
Okay.
very, very good. I highly recommend it. There's a Criterion edition too.
Okay. All right. Is it time for us to rate Critters 4, guys?
I think it's time for
Yes.
us to rate Critters 4.
Who goes
wants
first
to go
tonight, me or
first?
you, Ryan?
I'll go first. I'm gonna give this film a 2-star out of 5, and it's
Generous.
because I'm being generous because it's watchable. Like I've enjoyed the build up since the first film. It's great the first time. It's good the second. Like I went from what 4 stars.
You
to
want
3
Ryan on your jury, guys. If you break the law and you have the opportunity to rack a jury with this guy, you need him on your jury. That's your only chance of getting away with it.
You are
mean,
never
fuck-
getting out of jury duty, sir.
12 Angry Men. Thank you very much. All the same
11
agreement.
angry
You're-
men and 1 Ryan.
Yeah. 11 Angry Men and Ryan.
Listen, it's a watchable film. It's a good build up, but does it hold up? No, but I've seen worse. Fright Night 2, the remake of Fright Night 2 is worse than this. In my opinion.
Maybe slightly.
Like this is at least a little
Pretty
bit.
bad.
It's watchable because you have Angela Bassett, you have a body double butt, and Brad Dourif.
So is the. Are we.
Like
No,
Burns.
I was
No.
like trying to figure out if we were on the actual body double or not, but then I got distracted by something important. So back to it. I'm gonna give it a 1.5. 1.5. What does that make it? A 3 out of 10? Yeah, that's about right. This is
Yeah.
it. I don't want it to get confused with B movies that are amazing to watch on a couch with three buddies and have the time of your life. Bring some extracurricular activity things and have a great time. That's lovely. This isn't one of those movies. It's tough to enjoy this movie.
This is a rough
It's a
one.
grind.
This is a rough one. I'm gonna split the difference. I'm gonna sit at a 1.75.
Okay.
I think with the right substances, the right buddies, there
That means
are
nachos,
ways.
everybody.
Yes, nachos,
Taco Bell.
chips, Twizzlers, Taco
Bath
Bell.
salts, whatever you need to get through.
Yeah, whatever you need to get through it. I think you can have some fun if you're like a sci-fi person counting all the sci-fi things they ripped off, because like there's way more than I'm aware. I didn't even think of it until the trash compactor scene where I was like, holy cow, they're just putting scenes directly from other movies into this. Otherwise I don't see why you would even ever really need to watch this. I would consider this to be one of those movies that we watched so you don't have to.
Yeah.
We sacrificed for you people.
Preach.
And I mean, I'm almost never this negative about a movie, but yeah, Critters 4 kind of deserves it.
We've been negative before.
But not for like a beloved franchise. I don't think.
Yeah.
This one lets
Yeah,
you down, man.
This
This is the dad who
it's-
didn't show up to your baseball game.
Yeah. The dad, I mean,
That hit
or is
so
it
hard.
the dad that showed up to your
does.
baseball game, but he was so bombed he went out onto the field and got in a fist fight with the umpire?
No pants. Yeah.
Yeah. Like he did
Yeah.
just strip down
was
his
out.
underwear and ran out onto the field and fought with the umpire for the wrong team.
For the wrong team.
Like he showed up and he doesn't even know which team you're on, and he's booing you and cheering the other team.
There's a lot of detail to John's example. John, we're gonna have to talk after the recording, all right?
We might need a therapy session afterwards.
I think it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. I'm gonna come to all your Little League games from now on.
Yeah.
But
Thank you.
all right. I think that wraps up this. I mean, it's not even a polished turd; it's just a turd. Is there anything you
Yeah,
want to
this
do
is a
before we get into
turd.
the top fives?
No, this is it is a watchable turd.
Are they all?
Yeah. Whoa.
I mean,
Well,
we all look at our turds when we're done with them.
oh,
All right, we should get our
Yes.
top fives.
well. In
Everyone's
relation,
making the final
I will-
cut.
I will say this. We watched Critters 4, but we have a nice run of movies coming up. I think people are really
Yep.
going to enjoy, and we're really going to enjoy talking about, starting with Good Boy and then The Stuff
Excellent.
and Death of a
Ooh.
Unicorn and Basket Case. Like, we're
Yes.
getting to some fun stuff now. We ate
yeah, we
Critters 4 so we can get to the good stuff.
We
Good
got
deal.
some classics. I mean, I'm looking forward to our Halloween episode. The
Mm-hmm.
thing is definite, but we're getting into top fives, and we're talking about turds, and these are my top 5 sequels that don't hold up, but they're fun to watch. And we're going to start off with number 5. We just talked about the 6th and 7th of this franchise, and that's Scream 3. Came out in 2000. Story follows Sidney Prescott, who has gone into self-imposed isolation following the events of the previous 2 films, but is drawn to Hollywood after a new Ghostface begins killing the cast of the film within a film.
I love that in the moment that Kearns and I are trashing Scream, we can get you to trash it right along with us, but we can't get it out of you.
I love Scream. I love Scream.
You'll trash it. You'll find all the things that we're trashing and agree with us, but it's like as soon as you're out of our sight, it's like Scream.
It's like
Listen.
a heroin addict.
Scream.
You can't leave him alone with the kit, man.
This has Jay and Silent Bob. I mean, like, it's a the half brother twist. This is a winner, which leads to number 4. It was actually mentioned in your space or no space game, and that is Hellraiser 4 Bloodline. It's subpar to the first two, definitely subpar to 3, but the idea of it being a prequel and a sequel and going to show how like the box was made and like just to the future where it's in space and the twin Cenobites. I mean, you get some cool Cenobites out of it. And Doug Bradley's performance is excellent as always, which goes to number 3.
Hold on. Can I say one thing? Hellraiser 4 is kind of like that moment in a Looney Tunes cartoon where Wile E. Coyote is chasing the Roadrunner and he like runs off a cliff and he hangs in the air for a second before he falls. Hellraiser 4 is the hanging in the air for a second before it plummets.
Oh, agreed.
It's like, this isn't really that good. And you can see it's about to get really bad if they keep making them.
Yeah, I mean, it has a good story. It's a good plot idea, but they don't do it correctly, which is like my number 3 pick, Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare. You got some fun moments. You got Johnny Depp's appearance. You get the little game scene. I'm not a fan of the whole idea of him having a daughter. Like, so during his time of doing what he was doing, he had a family. We didn't know about this for 5 films,
Yeah.
you know? Like,
You would think in a town where everybody knows that story, they would know.
yeah, and like it's just like I mean, you get a nice like what Alice Cooper's in it, Roseanne, Tom Arnold. You get like these like pretty fun cameos, but at that time, fun cameos. She is not fun. I'm putting it out there. I don't know about Tom Arnold. Alice Cooper rocks, but that leads to my number 2, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. It has Kearns' favorite scene where Danielle Harris is trapped in the chute. Yep, and the stabbings begin. It's They had a great ending to the 4th one, which could have continued with her being like the new monster, the new shape, and he survived. He fell through a hole in the ground and was found by a hermit with an elongated mask and has a telepathic connection with his niece. And I mean, you can't beat the 4th one with the disappearance of what's his name? Ted Hollister.
Ludicrous.
Yeah, Earl, it's Ted Hollister.
You can't beat that, man. And that leads to my number 1. We mentioned Jason X, but this ain't Jason X. This is Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. I'm not like a big fan of the film, but it is fun. You got Jason versus Carrie. He gets put in chains, or he gets lifted up by chains because she goes crazy. You got some innovative deaths. Just fun around, and it's the
They're
first
like a Brit. That
Yeah.
counts.
Innovative.
Aluminium.
Aluminum. I was trying to think of a Harry Potter spell, but it's also the first appearance of Kane Hodder. 2. This is Kane Hodder's first appearance, so that's another big thing. But that's my top 5.
I like it.
John, what's your top 5?
I
Thank you,
like
Karen.
it. So,
It's at
As-
space.
like it. As I mentioned, Critters 4 is directed by Rupert Harvey, and this is the only movie he ever directed. And I went that way. Horror movies directed by someone who only directed one movie. And there's one cheat on here because I didn't know it existed. And it really didn't exist up until very, very recently. And I'll explain when I get there. My number 5 is a movie called Blood Beat. This is all. Let me, before I even talk about Blood Beat, add this is going to be as obscure a list of movies as I've put out in a long time. So in Blood Beat, a woman and her boyfriend head to his family home to celebrate Christmas. The festivities are cut short by the arrival of the ghost of a Japanese samurai in Wisconsin. And this is directed by Fabrice Ange Zaffaratos. The only
Sounds
thing he
very
ever got.
Japanese. Greek
Samurais in Wisconsin.
Japanese.
Is it on a
In
beet farm?
Wisconsin. It's
Extra cheese.
it's not specified really. It's just like some country farmhousey thing. Number 4 is a movie I've loved since the first moment I saw it, as bad as it is. Directed by Charles McCran. It's a movie called Toxic Zombies, which by in some places is also called Blood Eater. So a plane sprays a toxic chemical on fields of marijuana, turning the growers into mindless killing machines. It's ultra low budget. Even with a Blu-ray remaster, it still looks bad. It still looks like you're watching somebody's old VHS tape. But really the highlight is you get a Romero regular in there, John Amplis, who is in 6 or 7 Romero movies and, fairly small roles, but he's on Martinez and Dawn of the Dead. He's you'll know him, you know him when you see him, but he's not like a big name. So my number 3 is the one that technically the director directed another movie that came out really recently, which is really just a sequel to this movie. The movie's Slaughterhouse. It's directed by Rick Rossler, who very recently, this movie came out in the 80s. In
Too close to
2025.
Rick Ross not to bring that up.
Uh-huh.
Just to say. Directed by Rick
I'm not
Ross, they gone hard.
Yeah. So he recently directed a sequel to this that's streaming on YouTube that I plan to watch this weekend. I'm sure it's going to be awful because Slaughterhouse is like bad good. The owner of a foreclosed slaughterhouse ordered his son to get rid of those who are trying to take the property away from him. Unfortunately, a group of teens looking to party also become targets for the madman. And I actually saw this on the big screen that they showed this at a film festival I went to. And it's so bad, but it's a lot of fun to watch. I can highly recommend Slaughterhouse to people who like bad movies.
It's always better to watch the bad movie though on like the big screen, like especially with a good group of friends. It's like you just have more fun with it. It's like going to see the Green Hornet.
If you don't have friends, you can watch them with us soon enough.
Yep.
Soon enough.
Yep. So, number 2, one of my favorite titles of a movie. It's directed by Dean Cheddar, but the actual credit on the film is Alan Smithy, which should tell you how off the rails this wound up. And it's a movie called Blood-Sucking Pharaohs in Pittsburgh, which was definitely a Rhonda Shear up all night movie. In the midst of a series of murders, the murders of sex workers, 2 cops have few leads except a man wearing a fez with a strange connection to a Vegas mobster. It's bonkers. It's funny. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. It's Blood-Sucking Pharaohs in Pittsburgh. What else would you expect from a movie with that title? My number 1 is from a director you are all going to know, but he only directed one movie, and it's the drug-fueled nightmare of Stephen King's single director credit Maximum Overdrive.
Ooh. Maximum Overdrive.
I love that movie.
I
The
love
Green
it
Goblin.
too. I love that movie. I mean, it's a mess. It's a train wreck. If you read the stories, you come to understand why this is Stephen King. It is his most wild man era, probably. So you probably know, but the machines of Earth have come to life with the desire to kill after the planet passes through the tail of a comet. You get Emilio Estevez, you get B-movie legend Pat Hingle, and you get Lisa Simpson, Yardley Smith.
Yes, you do.
Maximum Overdrive, I saw probably within months of it first being released, and I've watched it maybe a dozen times since, and I love it every time I watch it. It's what Critters 4 should have been. Like that true get a group of buddies together and just laugh about a stupid movie.
Yep.
It's the bar Critters 4 should have shot for.
Remember, it used to be on repeat on sci-fi.
It was on a lot. A lot.
Yeah, it was.
But-
But it's a fun movie. That's the whole thing. It's fun.
Yeah. It's not good. but it's fun, and it's fun with a group.
It's a 3 out of 5.
That's my top 5. I'm gonna go as high as 375 for Maximum Overdrive. I legitimately love that
Wow.
movie.
All right, we're
I
gonna have to do
legitimately
something
love that
about that.
movie.
Let's throw that on the list. Bonus
Talk about
episode.
it. We'll talk about it. But for now, we're done. Later, everybody.
Yes,
That was
sir.
Critters 4.
See ya.